Dan Sullivan here from Doorco about a number of things. You've been busy over the last year with two new significant products.
Correct. Yes, we have. Yeah. First one is it's out there already, Grip Core, and the second product is a Flip, which is Doorco's first attempt at glazing cassettes. Both products have come to fruition at the same time, which is not quite as you normally want it, but yeah, timing just went that way, and we're launching both products this year.
Can we talk about Grip Core first? A product that you are making out in the Far East?
We are using a hybrid of the GRP skins from Doorco, Korea, but then we are assembling the door in Indonesia because it's a solid core product, it's a solid timber product. Indonesia's got some very, very high level timber door manufacturers out there. And we thought that the skill that they possessed lent itself more for an engineered product like this. So it's a great alliance. It's the technology of Doorco Korea and the GRP skin, but all of the knowledge of the Indonesian factory for its engineering in timber. So we've brought the two together. We're assembling in Indonesia, we're shipping from Indonesia, and we're importing in container quantities from there.
So, I mean, it's a one-size-fits-all thing, isn't it? 914. What does that cut down to? How small can that cut down? Because presumably you're cutting into the stiles and rails, which are hardwood, aren't they?
Yeah, you can go all the way down to the minimum size of the 762. So it eventually cuts down to sort of 680, 682. In conjunction with customer feedback and supplier working with us, yeah, we developed this one size door, but it allows you to trim just as you would do a standard composite door. We've just put significantly more engineered timber in this door to be able to allow you to size it.
So more rigid, thermally efficient, obviously a very strong door. And you're saying that it won't move, crack or delaminate?
Correct, yeah. All of the R&D and the focus has been on the core and how we cross-laminate the engineered timber to provide a very, very rigid frame to prevent this kind of warping, twisting, bowing that can be associated with timber doors. We've also got thermal movement that's a problem with composite doors. Most of the issues with thermal movement is driven by now all of these new designs that we do, where we cut most of the door out to have a nice long tall piece of glass. We tried to say, well, if this is the way the door market's maturing, let's try and build a door that's got the ultimate strength that can handle all of these now differences and permutations that we do and can still remain straight.
And indeed, you're giving it a 10-year warranty.
Yes, yeah, 10-year warranty. I think it's pretty much standard now. The consumers demand a high level of warranty and guarantee. And I think if you tried to do anything less, it wouldn't have had that kudos that the product needed. So again, it was about how much testing we put the door through. We tried to thermally move it. We've done security testing on it, and we've done weathering testing. And we're satisfied that this door is a product that can withstand that level of scrutiny over 10 years.
But now you're doing it in what, 6 styles? And you're doing it in 4 stock colours straight away?
Yeah, it's a toe in the water, really. You don't, the models we know because they're proven on the foam filled door, and the colours we've chosen are the most popular colours. But because the Grip Core has got a slightly higher price point and will be appealing to a slightly higher retail, we really don't know, from a colour perspective, what will drive those sales now. So we're installing a new paint line to be able to offer a myriad of colours in Grip Core.
Is it a door that you can put out and the fabricator can paint them themselves as well? Or do you do all the painting yourself at Doorco?
No, the fabricator can paint them themselves. We've got some large, what we call warehouse and distribution customers, and they've got their own paint lines, their own CNC machines. So this door will be sold either as a slab, like we do with the foam door, or it will be sold as a prep door where we add value to it.
And it's 44 mil, yes?
Yes, yeah, we've kept it the same size dimensions as the foam door. There's no difference when you look at them, it's when you go pick them up. The grip core doors are 50 kg door.
I mean, one thing intrigued me was that you're still using the 4mm GRP skin on it, which surely there must have been some temptation to make that a thinner skin and save some money, because you're not needing the GRP to be 4mm against knife attack or whatever, are you really, when it's a solid door?
Once you make those tools with that dimension, you can't change that. Every door we make has to have a 4mm skin on. We can't reduce it down to 2 mil or 2.5 mil. That's our standard operation. So the grip core is very, very secure. It's a very secure product. 4 mil skins and solid wood.
Yeah, absolutely. I suppose it's worth actually just touching on the issue, as this is made and coming in from Indonesia, about transportation problems and the issues of supply and everything at the moment. Is that affecting, I mean, obviously you've got to bring them in containers and the price of that's going up the whole time.
Yeah, same pressures. I think everyone's aware now, it's all over the news. It's common knowledge that if you are importing at the moment from overseas, there are major delays, there are huge costs. And then the third factor is sourcing raw material. All of those three are a problem, continue to be a problem. And so there doesn't seem to be any light at the end of the tunnel right now in that respect.
And do you see this going on? I mean, you say there's no light at the end of the tunnel. So is this going to be increased prices going forward?
I've stopped trying to predict, because every time I do, you look foolish. When I was predicting this in December, I said, oh, it'll end after Chinese New Year. Just last week, we paid the highest value for containers that we've done to date. So the prices continue to rise. It's a daily struggle to secure shipping slots. It's a daily struggle to secure raw materials. But it's basically come down to, at the moment, of you can secure raw material and you can secure shipping slots by paying in advance and paying up front.
Now, the other side, the good news is, of course, the other product, Flip, the new cassette, which is manufactured in the UK. So it doesn't cause that problem.
Yeah, so we partner with a UK supplier that will make all of the cassettes for us and the cassette system. We have still got issues on raw material with that product here. Because of course it's a plastic, and all types of plastic and chemicals at the moment are demanding a premium. But the great news is we're control of it here. We can manufacture it here. We're not got great shipping times and long lead times. So it'll be one problem we'll be able to resolve as we go forward this year.
But it's not as if you've just made one cassette. I mean, I was quite surprised to find that you're actually making, 3 different cassettes, different styles completely.
No, we've done a range of cassettes because that's what the market now dictate. That Doorco, I'd like to think, is good at, or is well known for innovating. So what we've done is took a standard product and we've turned it on its head, and we've said, right, okay, what do the actual customers need? And they needed a range of products. We've got a contemporary range, we've got a traditional range, and then we've got a flat grained range. And it gives you lots of different permutations now, which is great.
And they're through coloured, yeah?
Yeah. So the standard colours, I think there's 9 or 10 standard colours. They're all through colour because they're injection molded that colour. And then we'll do a tan range to be able to paint them when we do our bespoke colours. So yes, it's a significant amount of stock, Chris. It's a huge amount of stock that we've invested in.
Foam in place.
Yeah. So what we've done with Flip is that every glazing cassette comes with the seal already on it. We wanted to make the whole process easier. So we're supplying you the glazing cassette. It's already got the foam gasket on. So it's a matter now of using the connectors and the screws to fix it to the door. The pre-gasket seal has been tested to over 1,000 pascals. and has passed all the weathering tests. We've passed all the security tests. So yeah, we feel like we've got a pretty neat system.
So are you saying that there's no Allinsons, no sealant required?
Correct. There's no other tape or sealant required.
I mean, that is very significant, isn't it, really, against pretty much anything else out there?
We hope so. It's always great to come to the party at the end, isn't it? There's the other cassette brands have been out there for a long time. They're all very good. They've all got their own unique qualities. But of course, if you're going to come to the party at the end, you do have to bring something different. That's given us an opportunity to see a lot of the bits that we do like, a lot of the bits that needed improving. And, a lot's changed over the last 5 or 6 years. Fabrication's got a lot quicker. Fabricators want to be able to turn products round in a much quicker time. Consumer demand is more. So we looked at the product not just from an aesthetics point of view, but how it goes together and how we could speed the process up. We've looked at it top to bottom.
But I mean, that's a real time saving if you're not having to tape and you're not having to use sealant. Because, I mean, having done it, I know it does. It takes time. And you're going to really cut down that time that the fabricator has to use to glaze doors.
That was the aim. The aim was to make it aesthetically appealing, but also for the guys putting these things together. And if they've got a choice, then they say, we'd rather glaze a flip than any other brand.
So effectively, you're using a clip then to put them together. So they're clipped together.
Yes.
Cassettes.
Yeah, clip together, screw into the clip. We've developed a corner protector as well, which reduces corner flare. So it's just a simple clip together. And then the inner is just literally aesthetically pushes on. Away you go, it's a much simpler process.
And you can use, 24mm and 26mm units?
Correct, yeah. We've the fixing has got an adaptable head. And there's a lot of variance in glass, 24.5, 25 point something, the glass guys, there's quite a bit of variance. So we had to make sure that the pivot was adaptable.
And what about the old problem, deglazing? Can you deglaze the cassette?
Yeah, of course you can, yeah. The inner fixing's just a push-on fixing. So you remove the inner fixing, you can then take the screws out of the pivots. And of course, because there's no silicone or glazing tape on, there's not that sticky issue. Our foam gasket will have a little bit of adhesion on, but it can be removed and then a new glass unit put in. So yeah, it's fully reglazable.
So you can reuse the cassette. You're not destroying it in any way when you take it off.
No, not at all, no.
Big advantage. Sounds very exciting.
What was exciting was the concept, the designs, going through all of that kind of meticulous detail of designing the shapes and sizes and the grain texture, coming out with the new texture for the contemporary designs, the shape of the cassette, how it sat on the door, the low profile that we wanted to achieve, all of that. In a way, Chris, almost because it's now that bit's done, I'm kind of like, right, it's done now. Let's just sell them.
Is it all about being self-sufficient then, really, and not really relying on other people? You've got your factory in Korea. You've obviously got an agreement with the people in Indonesia. You're making flip in the UK. Self-sufficiency?
Yes. Yeah. We want to be as self-sufficient and independent as we can be. Now, don't get me wrong, we've got some great supply partners. We buy components off suppliers and it works and the relationship's good. Doesn't mean we won't use other suppliers for glazing cassettes. We will. But we continue to strive for complete independence, yeah.
Where do you go from here? If you've now got the grip core, you've got your standard slab, you've got your cassettes, what else is on the stocks? Have you got other new stuff coming?
But the first things that would jump out to me would be maybe 1 or 2 new door designs. And what can we do with the glazing cassettes now to create some further designs on existing doormat panels?
We'll look forward to seeing what comes in the future. Dan Sullivan of Doorco, thank you very much for your time. Much appreciated.